Right now, somewhere in the world, a woman is showing a man exactly how she feels about him. Not with words, not with a text message, but with four specific parts of her body that she cannot stop herself from revealing when attraction takes over. And here's the terrifying part. 93% of men have absolutely no idea what they're looking at. They miss it every single time, and by the time they figure it out, she's already gone. But not you. Not after this video. Here's something that's going to change the way you see every interaction you have with a woman from this point forward. A study published in the journal Evolution in Human Behavior found that women communicate romantic interest primarily through nonverbal signals, and they do it an average of 13 times before most men even begin to notice. 13 times. She's practically screaming at you in a language your brain hasn't been trained to read yet. And I'm going to be honest with you. Most women have done every single thing I'm about to describe in this video. The difference is they don't always know they're doing it either. That's what makes this so powerful. These aren't calculated moves. These aren't rehearsed tricks. These are raw, involuntary responses that happen when attraction takes over before logic has a chance to intervene. Now, I'm going to walk you through four body parts that women instinctively expose, highlight, or draw attention to when attraction is present. And I've saved the most surprising one for last. Once you understand it, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Before we begin, you need to understand something critical. The human body is terrible at keeping secrets. Communication research has repeatedly shown that body language often reveals emotions people never say out loud. She could be talking about work, her weekend plans, or something completely unrelated. Meanwhile, her body may be communicating something entirely different. Let's start with the first signal, the neck. I'm not talking about simply seeing someone's neck. I'm talking about a very specific behavior. When a woman tilts her head to one side during conversation, touches her neck, or brushes her hair back to expose it, she's often displaying comfort and openness. Why is this significant? The neck is one of the most vulnerable areas of the human body. From an evolutionary perspective, exposing vulnerable areas often signals trust and relaxation. It's a nonverbal way of saying, I feel comfortable around you. What's fascinating is that many women do this completely unconsciously. They aren't sitting there thinking, I'm going to expose my neck now. It simply happens when they're relaxed, engaged, and emotionally present in the interaction. The key is repetition. One touch means nothing. Two touches might be coincidence. But repeated neck exposure during a conversation can be a meaningful pattern. Now let's move to the second signal, the wrists, specifically the inner wrists. This is one of the most overlooked body language cues in social interactions. When a woman is comfortable and engaged, she may expose the inside of her wrists without realizing it. She might gesture with open palms, rest her hand with the wrist facing upward, or place her hands openly on a table. In body language research, showing the inner wrist is often associated with openness and vulnerability. Think about what people do when they're uncomfortable. They cross their arms, hide their hands, or close themselves off. When they're comfortable, they tend to do the opposite. Open wrists, open palms, and relaxed gestures can indicate that someone feels safe and receptive during an interaction. Now for the third signal, the legs. And no, this isn't about clothing. It's about direction and positioning. Former behavioral experts have long noted that feet and legs often reveal where a person's attention truly is because people rarely think about controlling them. Facial expressions can be managed. Words can be chosen carefully. Feet and legs often tell a more honest story. When a woman is interested in a conversation, her legs and feet frequently point toward the person she's most engaged with. Even in a group setting, this can be surprisingly revealing. Another clue is body orientation while sitting. If her crossed legs consistently angle toward you, it may suggest interest and engagement. If they're angled away while the rest of her body is disengaged too, that can suggest distance. The point isn't to obsess over one movement. It's to look for clusters of behavior. And that brings us to the fourth and most powerful signal of all, the torso, the front of the body. When someone feels safe, interested, and emotionally engaged, they often orient their entire body toward the person they're focused on, not sideways, not partially turned, fully engaged. This matters because the torso protects our most vital organs. Throughout human evolution, exposing the front of the body has been associated with trust and openness. When a woman faces you directly, leans in during conversation, and keeps her body oriented toward you, she's often signaling that she feels comfortable and invested in the interaction. This is one of the strongest nonverbal indicators because it reflects where her attention naturally wants to be. And here's the important part. None of these signals should be viewed in isolation. A woman touching her neck doesn't automatically mean attraction. A woman showing her wrists doesn't automatically mean attraction. A woman pointing her legs toward you doesn't automatically mean attraction. A woman facing you directly doesn't automatically mean attraction, but when multiple signals appear together, neck exposure, open wrists, legs angled toward you, and full body orientation, the likelihood that she's comfortable, engaged, and interested increases significantly. Body language isn't mind reading, it's pattern recognition. The next time you're talking with a woman, pay attention. Notice where her body naturally goes when she relaxes. Notice whether she opens up physically or closes herself off. Notice whether her attention consistently returns to you, because attraction often speaks long before words do. And if you learn to understand these signals, you'll stop guessing and start observing what has been right in front of you all along.